I've been contemplating on whether or not I should actually make this video, but it's been on my mind to make it. I feel like someone needs to hear it. There's someone who needs to hear it because I keep putting it off, but I have to make this video. Anyways, so let's go. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. In this video, I will be listing a few warning signs that a friend might be envious of you, have secret animosity towards you, or quite simply just hates your guts. Okay? Now, if you're watching this video, there's already a high chance that you might relate to a lot of things that I'm about to say. So before we even get started, I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to hold your hand because some of these things are a bit dark and it can be devastating to come to the realization that someone who you care about, who you view as a friend, probably as someone who wouldn't hurt you, it would be devastating to realize that this person has been, not what you thought they were, right? So I'm holding your hand before I get started. So I've made a list and it's on my notes app. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm going through my list. Okay, so let's get started. This is a dark and heavy topic, but it needs to be talked about. I'm going to list these warning signs in no particular order. Okay, so sign number one, they always misunderstand your actions and your words. They always misconstrue your words in the most negative way. And that has to do with their negative perception of you. And that's why they always misconstrue your words. And it's always in the most negative way that they could possibly think of. You could like say something and they might hear you wrong, but what they would hear would be like something that you just would never say, and it would be completely negative, and you would be like, wait, why did you, that's not what I said, and why would you even think that I would say that, that type of thing. It's like they always misconstrue your words, they always misunderstand your actions, and it's always in a negative way. It's never like in a positive way. Anyways, next sign is they make sneaky comments when you're around them, like sneaky comments about you. They may tell mean, sneaky jokes, all in an attempt to embarrass you. And it's just like, it's usually like not like a friendly, they make it seem like a friendly joke, but it's really just something really offensive. So they will always make offensive jokes, and when you call them out, they will basically just say, oh no, I didn't mean it that way, you're being overly sensitive. They'll never even own up to it. They'll just like essentially gaslight you into thinking that you're overreacting, you're being overly sensitive, they didn't mean it that way, and yada yada yada. Instead of just apologizing and not doing it again, they're gonna get defensive. Yeah. And The next sign is while they may not tell mean, offensive jokes about you, while they may not make sneaky comments, when other people do it, like let's say you're in a group setting and someone else does it, they will entertain it. They will laugh. They will be having a ball. So that's also a sign of a foe and not a friend, because a friend is not supposed to be happy to see you, in a situation where you're just not having a good time and you're being made fun of and you're being ridiculed. Like, they shouldn't be entertaining that. They shouldn't be laughing. They shouldn't be happy to see you like that. So yeah. Next sign is, and again, I want to emphasize on the fact that a friendship is supposed to be a safe space. You should feel safe when you're around your friends. Your your self-esteem, your confidence, your overall sense of self should not be taking a hit when you are around your friends. You shouldn't be fighting for your life, when you're around your friends. You shouldn't be on the fence. You shouldn't be uncomfortable. You shouldn't be embarrassed, when you're around your friends. Next sign is they never celebrate you. So they don't celebrate you. They don't celebrate your wins. They're never around when you have big occasions to celebrate. When you have like a birthday party or a birthday dinner, they may show up late or they may not show up at all. They may not even wish you a happy birthday. They may call you the day after or 2 days after and be like, oh, I forgot it was your birthday. Happy belated birthday, that type of thing. I'm not talking about an acquaintance here. I'm talking about a friend, okay? Someone who knows you, someone who you hang out with very often, okay? I'm not talking about an acquaintance. I'm talking about your friend, a childhood friend or a friend that you've known for a long time, okay? Them not celebrating you, them not being around when you're celebrating is just a no-no. Always having an excuse. If it happens once, it's fine. But if it happens every single time, every year on your birthday, they either show up late to your birthday party or dinner or whatever, or they don't show up at all, or they don't wish you a happy birthday until like days after your birthday. It's like it's always something. Or when you have like a party for like, let's say you have a graduation party or whatever, they're not there. Like, just in moments of celebration, they're nowhere to be found and nowhere to be seen. That's not a friend. Next, this kind of goes hand in hand with the sign that I just mentioned. So they're quick to celebrate other people, but not you. They're there to celebrate other people. They're there to congratulate other people on their wins. But when it comes to you, again, I'm not talking about an acquaintance here. I'm talking about a friend, a childhood friend, a longtime friend, a friend, not an acquaintance, not someone you met a few weeks ago or a few months ago, like a friend, okay? So that type of behavior is just not acceptable from someone who is supposed to be your friend. So next sign is when they hear your bad news, they're almost like happy. Like when you tell them you're going through something or something like awful happened to you. I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna post it because someone needs to hear it. But anyways, so when they hear bad news about you, like when you tell them about something awful that happened to you, they almost seem happy. Like, I kid you not, they will almost seem happy that you're going through something, that something bad has happened to you. And like, if you look closely, like when you first break the news to them, you see almost like a smirk on their face, like an actual smirk. And then they quickly realize that their mask is falling off. Then they quickly put it back on. And then they go into acting mode and go, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and all of that kind of stuff. So they're happy when you're going through tough times. They're happy to see you struggle. They're happy when they hear bad news about you. Let's say you tell them that you lost your job or your partner broke up with you or something like that. Something that changes things, right? Something that's not very easy to process. And you break that news to them, they almost seem happy. You can see that smirk in their face, and it's there for like a split second, and then they switch back to acting mode. And then the next sign, it goes hand in hand with this one, is when you do tell them good news, they don't seem very happy. The conversation sort of just dies down. Like they become very like silent or quiet rather. And again, when you first break the news to them about something amazing that you achieved or something amazing that happened to you or for you, like when you first break the news to them, you almost see again like a frown on their face, like yeah, something like that. And then they quickly put the mask back on, and then they give you a fake smile and go, oh my God, I'm so happy for you, that's amazing, yada yada yada. So in essence, when good things happen for you, it makes them unhappy. When bad things happen, it makes them happy, basically. And you can see it in their body language, in their facial expressions, when you first break it to them before they put the mask back on. Okay? So the next sign would be, ooh, this is a good one. When you get around their other friends, so friends of theirs that are not your friends, okay? When they invite you to places to hang out with these people, something seems off. Like these people who are not your friends, okay, but their friends seem to know a little bit too much about you. And I'm not just talking about like who you are, what you do for a living, and that kind of stuff, you know, what you studied in college or whatever. I'm talking about details about your personal life, okay? Details about your personal life, your career, your family, your relationship. Their friends who are not your friends should not know that much information about you. Another one is they copy you, but they never give you credit. So they will copy everything that you do, your general aesthetic. They will copy you in every sense of the word, but they will never give you credit for it, like ever. And this brings me to the next sign, is you will notice that they are in a one-sided competition with you. I'm not talking about them being inspired when they see you doing something and then going to do that same thing. I'm not talking about inspiration. I'm not talking about healthy competition. And honestly, to me, there's no healthy competition between friends. Like, you shouldn't be competing with your friends in the first place. So there's no such thing as healthy competition between friends for me, because why are you competing with your friends to start with? You shouldn't be competing with your friends. So you notice that they're in like this sort of weird one-sided competition with you. When you do something, they have to do that same thing, but like they try to one-up you in the process. So every little thing that you do, no matter what it is, they're gonna try to do it, but they're gonna try to one-up you in the process. And If it happens once, twice, it's fine, but it keeps happening. Things that they never showed interest in. Once you start doing those things, now they want to do those things, but they want to one up you in the process. And again, do not mistake this for inspiration or healthy competition. That's not what it is. It is envy. That's all it is, okay? And it's not healthy. Okay, so next sign is they never or rarely ever compliment you. And when they do, it's a backhanded compliment, okay? So I'll give you an example of a backhanded compliment. Let's say you guys go to an event, or I don't know, a casual event or something like that. Then you go with no makeup on, you know. You go there, you meet with them. They may say something like, oh, so you're not wearing makeup. I don't know if I would come to a place like this without makeup, but I love your confidence.
I can never give you a 10 because I don't like you. So I always gotta keep something negative in reference to you. So I can never give you you can never get that 10, okay? You can never get that 10. But
that's not a compliment. That is not a compliment. Okay? Like, it's not. It's simply not. And again, these subtle jabs that they take at you are so subtle that you can't really call them out on it, because it's not really a direct insult, but it kind of is, you know? So that's an example, right? So they never compliment you, and when they do, it's a backhanded compliment, right? Or it could be the other way around. Let's say you go somewhere to a casual event with like a full glam, right? They may say something like, ooh, I wish I had that much time to do my makeup. Or I wish I had that much time to invest into a full glam. Again, it's not an insult. It's not a direct insult, but it's a backhanded compliment. It's barely even a compliment. So there you go. So the next sign is, oh, this one's really good. So they never forget the times in your life when you were down. They always want to remind you of past mistakes, past struggles, maybe moments of your life that may have been embarrassing for you. They will always bring it up to make sure you remember that that's who you once were. Let's read that again. I wrote this. Oh, that's nice. Let's read that again. They never forget the times in your life when you were down. They always want to remind you of past mistakes, past struggles, moments of your life that may have been embarrassing for you. They will always bring it up to make sure you remember that that's who you once were. So let's say you were once depressed, or you were once broke, or you were once, I don't know, poor, whatever the case may be. They will never forget that version of you that was depressed, that was broke, that was like broken. They will never, ever forget that version of you. In fact, they will preserve that version of you. They will never let go, okay? They will never let go, and they will always make sure to remind you of it, okay? They will always remind you, like, hey, remember, you weren't always this happy. You were once depressed. You weren't always rich. You were once broke. You know, they will always want to remind you. They will always make subtle comments to try to remind you of who you once were, what your past struggles were. They will never move past those struggles. And it's really not in the sense of, oh, I'm so proud of you. You went through this, that, and the third, and look at you now. You're thriving. It's not in that sense at all. It's in the sense of, I want to remind you constantly that you weren't always this happy. You were once depressed. You weren't always this rich. You were once broke. Okay? I want you to remember this because in my mind, that's who you are. Even if it's been 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. In their mind, that's who you are. That's the version of you that they're going to preserve for eternity. They will never let go of that version of you because, of course, that version of you, just thinking of that version of you makes them feel powerful. Okay? So there you go. That's why they will never let it go. Oh, this one is kind of petty, but let's say they invite you somewhere and you ask them, like, what's the dress code? They will give you the wrong dress code. So let's say it's like an event that like requires like, you know, you to go like all the way, right? They're gonna tell you, oh no, it's just a casual event, you know, just wear a t-shirt, just wear anything. And you're gonna pull up with a t-shirt and they're gonna be wearing a beautiful dress. Everyone else is gonna be dressed up, dresses, beautiful outfits, and you're gonna be there with your t-shirt because that's what they told you. They told you it was just like a normal event, nothing important, nothing major, right? But when you get there, they're dressed up. Everyone else is dressed up. Yeah. So this one's kind of petty, but I just decided to throw that one in there because why not, right? It happens. It's happened to a lot of people and it's still happening. It's sad. Another sign of someone who secretly hates you is when you get into an argument with them. It could just simply be like a petty argument, nothing really like intense, but they make it intense by hitting you with a low blow. And I'm talking way below the belt. They go way below the belt. They may say something like, you're so fill in the blank. No wonder your ex cheated on you.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand.
Something really like unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like something way below the belt. Like, and that is not cool. It means they've been sitting on that. They've been waiting to use that against you. And again, a friend who uses something that you told them that happened to you that was hurtful, that was really painful to go through, a friend who uses that against you in an argument has been sitting on that. They've been waiting to use that against you. It didn't come out of nowhere. They've been waiting for the perfect moment. Okay, so another sign is they would project their insecurities onto you. So they project their insecurities onto you. So the things that bother them, the things that aren't really working out for them, that make them feel bad or insecure, they may just like kind of flip it and like use that against you. Like they may say things like let's say you're well off and you guys might be talking about something, and for whatever reason you might make a comment and it just leads to them saying something like, well, not everyone has it easy like you. It's because they resent you. They resent you for having things easy. They think you have things easy, even if things are not. They think you have things easier than you actually do because they want you to suffer. They don't want you to have an easy life. They want you to suffer. They want life to be extremely difficult for you. And when it's not, they resent you for it and they project that onto you. So, yeah. So, another sign, ooh, this one's good. They're always quick to point out your flaws. Very quick. And they almost seem like excited. Like when they notice a flaw, whether that's a physical flaw or any kind of flaw, they seem like excited. Like, let's say you have like a zit or a breakout or whatever. As soon as they notice it, oh my God, they will be like a kid in a candy store. Like, they will be so excited. Like, oh my God, is that a zit? Are you breaking out? What's happening? Are you like stressed out? What is it? Is it school? Is it work? Is it uni? What's going on? What's happening? I guess you're not so perfect after all. Look at you, you're breaking out. Yeah, yeah. They get super excited when they notice a flaw in you. Like, yeah, it's weird. Anyways, next sign, and they're quick to notice it too. They're very quick to notice it. Very, very quick, like instantly. It's because they're constantly seeking flaws. Ooh, they may try to sabotage you in subtle ways. Like, they may try to sabotage your relationships with other people, your job, your business, your reputation, whatever it is that you have going on for yourself. They may try to sabotage that in subtle ways where you can't really call them out on it because it's not like blatant, you know, but it's so like it's really so sinister, like how these people operate, because they never, the things that they do are very evil but not blatant. So it's hard to call them out on it because it's so subtle, but it's very evil. So yeah, so they may try to sabotage you in many ways that are very, very subtle. They'll do it in subtle ways where you can't really call them out on it, you know? So yeah, next sign is, ooh, they underestimate you and your ability to do things. So they underestimate you. Like, let's say you tell them about something really amazing that you just achieved. They may seem like really surprised, and not like pleasantly surprised, like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like, no, not like pleasantly surprised, but like surprised in the sense that, what, you can do that? How did you get that job? How did you get into that school? How did you do that? It's more in a like, they weren't expecting that. They just don't expect much from you. They have like a low valuation of you and like of what you can do. So when you achieve like great things, when you do something amazing, it's almost like they're like, what? You know, like, how did you get into that school? How did you get that job? That kind of thing. So they underestimate you. And this leads me to the next sign. Another sign is they always speak negativity into your plans. Like, yeah. And it, again, very subtle because it might show as them simply showing concern, right? Like, it's very subtle because they can mask it as concern when really it's not. It's just them, again, attempting to sabotage you. Okay, so let's say, for example, you decide to go to law school or something like that, and you tell your friend, right, like, hey, I've been thinking about going to law school. Instead of them just saying, oh wow, congratulations, that's amazing, do you have a particular law school that you want to go to, or Are you exploring like many options? Like, what's going on? Like, instead of them just being supportive and asking like normal questions, they're gonna go into full Debbie Downer mode. Like, they're gonna start listing all the cons, all the negative things about law school, all the negative things about a career in law, all the cons, they're gonna roll them out. Like, oh, law school, you never expressed an interest in law. Where did this come from? That's interesting that you want to go to law school. I never really saw you as someone who would be interested in a career in law. That's interesting. Well, are you sure about that? Law school is really expensive, and also it's really hard to get into a good law school. And the law schools that are easy to get into are no good.
There's something I've always wanted to tell you, and I think you're ready to hear it. You're not very pretty, and you're not very bright. I'm so glad we had that talk.
So are you sure you really want to invest your time into that? And remember, it's like really expensive. Is it worth it? Like, have you thought about this? Have you maybe thought about some other options? They're just going to list all the negative things about law school, all the negative things about a career in law, all of it. Not one positive thing is going to come out of their mouth. Again, it's very subtle because it almost seems like concern, like they're concerned for you. They don't want you to waste your time and energy and effort into something that may not yield, positive results, right? But that's not what it is. It's just them trying to sabotage you in very subtle ways. Anyways, moving on to the next sign. So you'll always have the same conversations with them about things that hurt you, that bother you, that they do. And they're always going to gaslight you and tell you that they didn't mean it that way. You're being overly sensitive. And they're just going to keep doing it. Like with the mean, subtle comments that I mentioned earlier. Like, you might call them out on it like once and be like, hey, I really don't like it when you take subtle jabs at me, And instead of just apologizing and saying sorry and never doing it again, they're just going to keep doing it, and they're just going to keep gaslighting you that you're being too sensitive and they didn't mean it that way. And it's not their fault if you can't take a joke. Yeah. So, next sign. They're always seeking to humble you. And this has nothing to do with material possessions. Even if they have more than you, they have a bigger house, better car, it doesn't matter. Even if there's nothing to humble, they're just going to make it their full-time job to humble you in many subtle ways. It's kind of sick if you think about it. Anyways, and I think you might be wondering, why do they do these things? It's because they're insecure. They're insecure. They're fighting battles with themselves. They're constantly fighting battles, and they're continually losing these battles, and they're taking it out on you. So, next sign. They forget important details about you. Details that could be, life-threatening, honestly. So let's say, for example, you're allergic to peanuts, right? They will always conveniently forget that you're allergic to peanuts and bring you food and snacks that have peanuts in them. They will always conveniently forget that you're allergic to peanuts and always eat peanuts when they're around you. And you have to always remind them, hey, I'm allergic to peanuts. Can you not, like, yeah, stuff like that. Ooh, when they help you, you will never hear the end of it. They will go out of their way to extend their help to you for, I don't know, anything. They will just offer to help you. And you might think it's just like a genuine act of kindness at first, until it gets to a point where you never hear the end of it. They keep bringing it up. I did this for you. I did that for you. I did that for you. Whether or not you asked, it doesn't matter. They're always going to use it as ammunition to try to control you. So, yeah. Next sign, your gut feeling, right? If you have a gut feeling that you're dealing with a frenemy, then you probably are. If you don't feel comfortable, if something is just not right, then there you go. If your gut feeling is telling you that, you know what, it doesn't seem like this friend of mine really likes me. It seems like they might have some type of secret animosity towards me. Then there you go. And now I want to say, I wrote this down. This is what I wrote down in the end. Keep in mind that people may not do these things that I mentioned. In fact, they may do the opposite and still hate your guts, okay? At the end of the day, you can't read people's minds. But if you see these signs, you don't need to read their mind, okay? And you might think to yourself, why would someone stay friends with me if they hate me? Like, if they hate you so much, then why stick around? Why do they continue to invite you to places? Why do they continue to come to your house? Why do they continue on the friendship? If you don't like someone, might as well just avoid them completely, right? Why are they still like calling you, like reaching out and all of that? You might wonder, right? And sometimes it's about things that you have that they want to maintain access to. So even if they hate you, they know that by sticking around and pretending, they will have access to certain things. Like, let's say you're rich. Well, there you go. If you're rich, people are going to hate your guts and still stick around because they can see a benefit there for themselves. It may be that you're well connected. That may be something that might be useful to them, to have a friend who's well connected, or it may just be something intangible, like just you, who you are, your aura, your overall energy. They want to stick around so they can siphon it, okay? That's it. So it's not always what you have. Sometimes you say to yourself, like, how could this person be envious of me? They have more than me. They have more money. They have a better job. They have a bigger house, a bigger car, a better car. They have more. How could a person who has more than me be envious of me? It makes no sense. But trust me, it makes a lot of sense, because it's not always about material things. It's not always about the things that you have. It's more so about who you are, right? And again, like I said earlier, it all boils down to the fact that these people are very insecure and they're fighting battles, okay? They're fighting demons, and they're continually losing these battles. And so they're just taking it out on you, right? So I wouldn't take it personally, Okay? So I think that brings us to the end of this video. Or maybe hard for you to accept because it just doesn't make any sense for them to remain friends with you if they hate you so much. Why stay friends with someone that you hate, and just stay around and continue to take subtle jabs at them instead of just, avoiding them or cutting them off? Why stay friends with someone who you hate? But anyways, I do hope that you learned a few things from this. And if you have experienced any of the things that I've mentioned, let me know in the comments. Let me know. I want to know. So at the end of the day, you don't need to be around someone who is constantly taking jabs at you, making fun of you, attempting to embarrass you, going out of their way to sabotage you. It's really something that no one needs in their life, honestly. And it never gets better, it only gets worse. So, because the more you grow, the more you evolve, the more their envy towards you is going to evolve. So, as you evolve as a person, their envy towards you is going to evolve as well. So, never think that it's going to get better. Never think that one day they're going to wake up and think, you know what, this isn't cool. Like, why am I even doing this? Like, this person is my friend. Why am I going out of my way to sabotage them, to bring them down? They're never going to stop and think that. It's only going to get worse, right? And like I said, the more you evolve, the more you accomplish, the better you get at everything that you do, the more envious they will grow of you, okay? They will grow more and more envious towards you. The more you evolve, the more their envy towards you will evolve, okay? It's never going to get better. As you evolve, their envy towards you is going to evolve. And honestly, people don't talk about it enough, but it gets dangerous. It can get dangerous. Envy is a very powerful emotion, okay? And it can quickly get out of hand, and it can get dangerous, okay? So if you have people like this in your life, I would honestly suggest that you think about whether or not you want these people to continue to be around you, because it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Again, a friendship is supposed to be a safe space. You should not be fighting for your life when you're around your friends. Your self-esteem, your confidence, your overall sense of self should not be taking a hit when you get around your friends. You should be happy. You should feel confident in yourself. You should feel comfortable enough to be yourself. It shouldn't be a situation that's hostile, So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.